Hey everybody, this is Steve of nonprofitally.com, and we're going to go into the Lesson 3 post-lesson notes. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to go over those plugins that we installed earlier in this lesson. I'm going to explain to you what they do and why we installed them. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that right away. Okay, so one of the first ones we had installed was the all-in-one SEO pack, and that is a search engine optimization plugin. And so it's on the left-hand side here. You go in there and you go to General Settings. Now, once you're in the General Settings, you're going to be able to set up your search engine optimization settings for your website. And this is important for anyone who has a website that wants to be found in Google or Bing or Yahoo, etc. Now here's where you go. This is basically the back end, and we're going to scroll down a little bit to these homepage settings. And here you can set your homepage title. So if you're a nonprofit and you feed hungry children, you could put the nonprofit website, which is the name of this site, and we could put in there something. Our tagline would be Feeding the Hungry, or Feeding the Hungry of Oakland, or etc. So that's your homepage title. Now your description. Now if you roll over these, the great thing about this SEO plugin is that the person who made this gave you some hints. So when you click on these things, it tells you what you're doing, and a lot of times it'll tell you how many characters you can put in. I'll show you that in a second. So your homepage description would be basically a short summation of your message, of your mission, a short summation of your mission. And you would put that in here. And then down here, your keywords would be basically what keywords would you want someone to type into Google and find your site. So are you focused on hungry children? And that could be one. And you separate them by commas, and your next keyword could be kids, because people might write that in. So you could put hungry kids. You could also put feed Oakland children. Just any type of keyword that you think people might be searching in the search bar. So when you're done with that, you go down to the bottom and you can save it. And I actually think there's a save button at the top too. You update these options. There are a lot of different options in this SEO plugin, and I do go over those in a later lesson on search engine optimization, but for now, I'm just giving you an idea of why we installed this. So that would, and you would save this, and that would be basically your back end for your entire site. But the other thing that the search engine optimization package does here is when you go to a post or a plugin, we'll just do a post. And when you put a post on, this is one I just posted. We're going to see this one later, the Feed the Hungry Children. And that's just some filler Latin. But if you go down, you scroll down, when you're posting a post, you have lots of different options. Now here is the SEO Pack plugin right here in the post. So for every post or page that you put on WordPress, you can have your own custom title for that page, your own custom description for that page, and your own keywords. So this will give your site a lot of variety, and it will appear in the search engines to have more diverse content, which is a good thing. So for each post you put, depending on whether you're talking about children or fundraisers or board members or whatever it is, you can put the description, the title, and the keywords based on that post. And that's a really good idea. It does take a little extra effort and a little extra time to keep your site updated when you do a post, but it pays off dividends in the end in reference to Google or Bing and other search engines. Okay, so the other plugin, we'll go back to our plugins page and we can find it here. The other plugins that we installed were the Google XML Maps, and that's this right here. Now what this does basically is it automatically sets up a sitemap for your web page without you having to do anything. And what a sitemap is let me pop this open in a new window and I'll show you what it looks like. XML is just a form of code. But here's the home page for this site. And if I go sitemap.xml, I put this in at the end of the URL, and I press enter, there's a sitemap automatically created just by having that plugin. Without that plugin, this wouldn't be here. Now, why is this important? It's this URL, it's this up here that you're going to submit to Google and to Bing and to all the other search engines to crawl your site with their bots. Basically, that's how they take your site and they reference all the pages and they go in and they check all this all your search engine optimizations, your tags, your keywords, your descriptions, and they categorize it. So without a sitemap, the bots don't know exactly where to go. So automatically done. It's a great plugin. You don't have to do anything. Just turn it on. So now the other plugins that we did, I'll go back to the plugin page, we used Pretty Links. Now Pretty Links is a really neat plugin. Basically what it does, I'm going to go ahead and click on it here, but you see over here on the left-hand side, Pretty Links is down here. Go ahead and click on that. What it does is it takes a URL or your web page address, and you're able to take that address and customize how it appears up here in the address bar. Now, it's a pretty simple process, but what we're going to do, let me turn off my XML sitemap link. So what we're going to do is I've created a page here called Feed the Hungry Children. And if you look up here at the address bar, it says nonprofitwebsite.com, Feed the Hungry Children, Oakland. That's a really good address to have for search engines because it's very descriptive. It's about feeding, it's the hungry, it's children, it states the location. This is really good. But if you're going to tell someone to visit this page, let's say this is the page for a fundraiser we're doing. So if you're going to tell people to visit your latest fundraiser, the Feed the Hungry Children of Oakland fundraiser, it'd be very difficult for them to remember the nonprofitwebsite.com/feed-hungry-children-Oakland. But like I said, this is a very good title of a page for search engines. So what you do to make this easier, you go back into our Pretty Links and you're going to add a Pretty Link. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take that URL and we're going to paste that URL right here. The target URL is the page that we're going to add we're going to put a Pretty Link on. So this is now going to be, and here is the Pretty Link I want to make it. I'm just going to call it Feed. So now, let's go on down. You can leave all these at defaults. We're going to go ahead and create this. So basically, all it is, it's basically like a URL forwarder. So I'm going to tell visitors to donate at the nonprofitwebsite.com/feed. Easy to remember. They click it in, and it redirects to your page. So that's Pretty Links. If you have multiple fundraisers or multiple events, you can put the full event title up here, which you do by basically just naming your post. It automatically becomes that title. And then you can make it an easier to remember URL or web address with Pretty Links. So the other plugins that we installed, let's go back to plugins. One was the social media, the simple social media icons. You saw that demonstrated in a lesson earlier. But basically by using these, they show up as a widget which you place on the page, which then shows up over here. And you can customize these links so that they go to your Facebook, Twitter account, LinkedIn, etc. And the other plugin, we didn't actually install it, we just activated it, was the Jetpack. So in order to activate the Jetpack up here on the left, you had to go into the WordPress.com site, get an account, and then connect your WordPress site with WordPress.com. But by doing that, you are given all these different features that you can add in here to help you publicize your site, monitor your site, have email subscriptions. So all these things, you just turn them on, and basically it's a package of widgets or a package of plugins that come by default for people on WordPress.com that you now have access to. And they're really great. They're good to use. So I highly recommend turning that on, connecting the sites, and then using these. All right, well, that wraps up Lesson 3. It was a long lesson with lots of information, so I recommend if you're a little unclear on any of the information that was given, just go back and play some of the lessons again, use your pause button, try it out on your website, and continue through that. Our next lesson is going to be on pages and posts, and basically we're going to just make our about page, our mission page, and we're going to teach you how to update your website with regular post updates, latest news, etc. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next lesson. Bye.